Hello guys, you alright? Red Pill Phil. Hope you're enjoying all the content that's turning up. Different. But I hope it's informative and I hope you're getting something from it. And I love you all, as ever, whether you like it or not, really. The interviews that I've got there with Nanny Robinson, I tell you what, that lady is amazing. Regardless of what you think of her politics, for you people watching. Me personally, I've got all the time in the world for Nanny Robinson. The work that she's doing, the level-headedness that she's got. That was for me probably one of the most relaxed chats on various subjects that I've had with any individual, particularly that has been filmed as well. You could see it was just so laid back, but we were just talking openly. Absolutely brilliant. I love the lady. This is a lady that went out of her way big time to come up to see me. It was a long round trip for her. It resulted in her booking a hotel room for the night. So I can't not recognise that. So Nanette, thank you very much for your time. And I've not quite got into your content yet, but I will. It's going to be a challenge and I'm going to enjoy it. What will come out at the other end is anyone's guess. But I hope you enjoy it also, and you're a fabulous, fabulous lady, and good luck with everything you do, Nanny. Okay, last night I went to a peer support introduction meeting in Rochdale. I was invited by, you could say primarily Survivors Matter, but it was a collaboration. You had Billy from PAG UK. You had Mike there from Dark Light. You had Danny there from Shatterboy. There was lawyers there. There was the BBC there that had been filming. And Anthony from Naga. So there was many different facets there. There was several survivors. There was a room full of people trying to work out a strategy and a plan in order to help vulnerable and affected people. Doing it with compassion and sympathy and understanding, being that these people have set it up have all admittedly openly stated that they are survivors themselves. I spoke to some survivors personally whilst I was there. They can all recognise, see what positivity can be done from this and what they personally as an individual have got out of the help and the support that these guys have given to them. Namely one, a chap called Simon, a survivor. If you've only just joined the channel, there's a clip. Months ago I went to Rochdale. I was invited by Danny in PAG UK, and I will try and put the clip in, but it was an interview I conducted under a pagoda in a park in Rochdale. I could not show the guy's face. The chap was called Simon. The way his demeanour, the way he carried himself, it was almost like it happened 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, so basically at the end of my colonoscopy, I was sexually assaulted by the doctor treating me. I knew straight away it was wrong. You know, my whole life changed that day because, you know, the person I was before, I just basically started drinking. It took me a good 18 months to be able to get in front of my friends and family to explain what had gone on.
And when you did, what kind of response was you getting?
It wasn't the reception I hoped it would get. It was like 2/3 of my friends and family couldn't deal with what was being said. You know, I was captain of 2 football teams before all this started. It looks like all that went away. I've not spoken to my sister in 12 months. In going to the police, they've made me feel like I'm a numpty for suggesting what I've suggested. like where I live, I've lived in the same flat for 20 years. You know, I've always flown under the radar. I've always been a good person. When this happened, I've got a nurse on the street. She calls Riot Parker. She's a good friend of mine. I told her everything that happened from top to bottom. She told me you've been sexually assaulted. Then, you know, spoke to a couple of professionals. Still, the police haven't dealt with it in any way, shape or form. When they did deal with it, you know, they basically told me, you know, based on the information I've given them and the fact that it's now a historical sexual assault, there was nothing they could do. It's now been 4 years. Due to a recent, you know, we've asked the police like what they've actually done. We found out that they haven't even asked the doctor that did it what he did.
Really? So they're totally not believing anything. So not even inquiring.
You could tell the man, he won't mind me saying it, he was a broken, agitated man. Albeit still getting on with life the best way he can. But I can only go off my first impression. The guy on the day was shaking, he was a nervous wreck. You know, he found it hard to get his point across, and it's understandable. Jesus Christ. Even people that have had nothing wrong with them are not privy with sitting in front of a camera and chatting, so I get that. Albeit talking about the most sensitive, intimate thing and the most aggressive way you can be violated as well. You know, I can totally get that. So, to see him on that day, he literally done that interview in Rochdale, wandered about, and then he just left. I don't know whether it's because, you know, although he was doing it for the right reasons, it maybe become a little bit too much and kind of, I don't know. I think he had one or two other things he may have had to do on that day, but he just kind of left. Not seen him again since. Obviously, I've seen Shatter Boys, Mike and Billy. He was there last night. Knew exactly who he was. I don't forget a face. I didn't forget his name. That may happen with me sometimes, a bit of a cloudy brain at times. But I do meet plenty of people, so it's kind of understandable. But straight away, he come to sit down. Oh, you're right, is it Simon? Yeah, so we, you know, later on after the actual introduction meeting, he was talking to me and you could see within his face, he was a different character. He looked no different physically. In his face, he looked 10 years younger. Not because of any superficial treatment, but it was like a weight was lifted off him. He seemed happy, he was smiling, he was content, he was reassured. And he told me he'd had an interview with the BBC on that night, last night, and he said, I nailed it. I went, well done, fantastic you. Compared to you can see the transformation, you know, I've seen what I've seen on the day. You guys wouldn't have seen it if you watched the clip. You might hear it in his voice, but to see him, he was a man that has managed to grab that negativity and screw it up like a freaking paper cup and just dash it. Although it's not easy to do, and I can understand why people hold on to it, because it severely affects your psychology. It's hard to move on. It's hard to see the light. No matter how many people pat you on the back and tell you it's all right, it's hard for some people, for whatever reason. He'd let it go, and you could see. And to me, it's indicative of what the guys are doing, because he explains this is because of what Mike, Dan and Billy have done for me. They've always been there, they've helped me. But you know the one thing that he didn't say, that I'm almost going to say that it must have played a part? Every time I go up to see these guys, no matter what they've gone through in their lives, one, the positivity they're doing, but they are the most happiest, content guys with what they're doing and the way they are as individuals. They do not project any negativity, any sorrow, any vulnerability. It's all about empowerment. When you look at Mike, every time I see Mike, he's the happiest guy, and he's explaining now about how he's changed. Now he's not doing the hunting. He's moved away. He's seen a vision and he's gone for it. He's now set up Dark Light Foundation. So we was having a chat as Wayne, another survivor, politely dropped me off at the station with Dan and Mike. And we had a 10-minute chat before I got out the car. And there was so much positivity. It was constructive and they felt good about what they were doing. And the amount of different testimonies from survivors, you could tell that these guys want this type of service. It's comprehensive. This ain't just a phone call and cheap, they're covering it from all different angles. Becky from PAG is involved. There's so many different. There's a lovely lady called Debbie involved in it all. There was a lady online who couldn't make it there because she lives down south, who had met before and I'd had a conversation with her in Nottingham. Lovely lady called Chris. She done a couple of speeches on the day on the footage of Nottingham. She was online, Skyping as like a conference call type of thing. And there was so much positivity. I didn't know myself, but she's a survivor. And she was saying how what these guys are doing is integral. So the only bit of footage I've actually got is a short interview with Danny afterwards. That is it. It was more of an introductory so they could meet everyone. And they wanted me to be there to see. And, you know, Danny threw me in the mix and added me as part of the team almost. And I felt very welcome, very humbled by that. So it was a case of everyone meeting everyone. So moving forward, there's kind of going to be no strangers turning up. Everyone kind of knows. Oh, that's Red Pill Phil. Ooh. Oh, that's the lawyers. Oh, you know, that's Billy. That's, you know, whatever. So I do feel that was necessary yesterday. I felt it was positive and constructive. So I hope you're going to enjoy this little bit of an interview. And I'd just like to say, guys, the best of luck with what you're doing. Simon, it was a pleasure to meet you again last night. Wayne, thank you very much for the lift, and I've met you a few times. You're a great guy. Philip, you are a blinder, mate. We will be doing hopefully more work in the future, but certainly I would love to have a sit-down interview with you, and particularly how you've turned that into a positive by doing your filming. So there's plenty of positivity going on in Rochdale, albeit done by average citizens. But that doesn't negate from the powerful work that they're doing. So this is Red Pill Phil. I'm loving you all, even the pissing haters. Enjoy the content, guys. See you soon. Bye. Hello, Danny. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate.
Thank you for taking the time out to have this little chat. If you'd just like to explain yourself what the peer support group is all about, mate.
Yeah, so what we did tonight was a bit of an introduction, really. So if people are coming to us for support, you know, we can't expect people to speak if we don't kind of sort of speak out ourselves and know our team. So it's a bit of kind of sort of get to know you night, basically, and about us night. An opportunity for survivors to come and professionals who we're going to be signposting to meet everybody and see what we're doing. We want to be as transparent as possible, to be honest with what we're doing. The peer support side of things, obviously that's closed. That's a closed group, which is confidential as well. What the peer support is about, it's about empowering people, basically. It's about using our stories, our experiences of what we've been through, as a vehicle so people can recognise and connect with us and identify it and see what we've been through, and more importantly, see that we've come out the other side, and carry a message of hope by sharing our experience, strength and hope, basically. What we've found is that has a positive knock-on effect to people, because it's like, hang on a minute, if these lads are speaking out about this stuff, then maybe I can too. And it's about offering a glimmer of hope. So the average time for male disclosing and keeping the abuse itself is between 25 and 27 years.
Really?
Yeah, that's statistically.
So what's that doing to anyone's mental state for that length of time to carry that burden down? You know, I mean, you'd know more than most, so
I can only compare it to being like a washing machine. Your head being like a washing machine on a spin cycle. To be honest with you, for that long period of time, and what that does is not only does it physically and mentally not only does it mentally wear you out, but you know, carrying that trauma around with you has an effect on your body. Do you know what I mean? People get ill. People devise these what we call maladaptive coping mechanisms. So you know, stuff that gets you through. So self-harm, drugs, alcohol, workaholic, going to the gym, all that kind of stuff that you use to get through, which may be helpful at the time, but when people come to us at that point, it's like, right, you know, you don't have to do this self-destructive behaviour anymore. There is another way, and it's not rocket science, it's dead simple. It's just by connecting with other survivors, sharing what you've been through, and swapping tools, and that's what the peer support group does.
You know what I noticed, mate? I mean, you guys are all fantastic. I can see the work that you're doing is definitely working. Yourself, Mike and Billy, your demeanour is very inspirational for anyone who comes into contact with you, whether they be a survivor or not. That's what I've noticed. The point being, Simon, I've looked at him today, big beaming smile on his face. He's turned that negative into a positive. He's already done an interview for a big TV company as well. So you can see that it's having a positive effect. And to me, that's down to you guys. When I look at Mike, he has a big beaming smile, just because he seems to be coping and dealing with what's going on and using that negative into a positive. So that's really my spin on it, really. What I would like to say as well with this group, what you seem to be setting up, is so comprehensive that you look like you're ticking all the boxes, or at least you're trying to do that. You know, if you could just run through some of the different phases that you've got within what's going on.
You know, as well as what you say there, Phil, as well, it's a massive learning curve for us as well, and what to get things right. So when someone comes to us, you know, people turn up a quivering wreck. You know, Simon won't mind me saying this. You know, when we first met Simon, he was drinking heavily. He couldn't hold down a job. It was having an impact on his relationship. He used to be a semi-professional footballer. When he got raped, all that was took away from him, and all fell to bits. You know, and like I say, it's not rocket science. You know, all we've done is like sort of took him under our wing in a sense, been there for him. When he's wanted, not when we think he should be there or when he think he should call. You know, we put the ball in this court because what it's all about. It's all about self-empowerment basically, and people like Simon being in charge of their recovery. You know, we've not got a magic wand to make it all go away, but you've witnessed yourself. You know, that connection with another survivor. You know, the process. You know, and the transition of someone becoming a victim to a survivor. I don't know any better word for it.
If there was a straight line and there's all different progressive lines running along that line from start to finish, where he was at, he was near the back. Looking at you guys, you're further up that line, so he will draw solace from the fact that one, it can be done, and two, having people that have got support, but plus doing it with a smile on his face and letting him know that basically everything's all right no matter what is going on in their life. To me, that is totally vital, that he's taking it that seriously and you guys are taking it that seriously.
We didn't get into recovery to be miserable, Phil. Do you know what I mean? We've lived a life of being suicidal, you know, taking drugs to numb down our feelings. You know, when somebody discloses, starts on that journey, what happens is they start to get the feelings back. Do you know what I mean? They start to recognise and name them feelings and get acceptance, which is key around what's happened. You know what I mean? If you've not got that acceptance, you know, you continue to be in it, you continue to fight against yourself and be in a place of
You've got to acknowledge it in order to move on, I guess, haven't you?
Which might sound dead simple, do you know what I mean? But that's it's hard to put into words, but that's...
It's literally looking in the mirror, isn't it? And being happy with what you see in the mirror. If there was an analogy that you could put to it, that's how I would imagine it.
We're going to do a 12-week analysis of the group, some clinical assessments and do an anonymised report at the end of the 12 weeks. Then we're armed, evidentially then, with a report that peer support works. Once we've got that, what we're going to do is we're going to start building to roll it out into the country. We got called in by probation the other week to come in and deliver some training to their staff. So we're looking at getting invited to some national probation meetings now, because what's happening is there's lads who are committing crime, which you know, they get involved in that cycle, that life cycle of being like sort of off the rails, and that's what comes hand in hand with it. But what's happening is people are coming into probation, committing violent offences and disclosing that they've been abused. So, you know, that's just another avenue we're going down. We want to get this stuff into probation, because that's what we've got a heart for, because that's where we come from, that kind of life.
It's going to be every fortnight, isn't it?
Yeah, once a fortnight.
Are you actively, I take it, you know, if people get in touch with you through Shatterboys or through Mike, he's just opened a foundation now, hasn't he? Dark Light Foundation, or PAG UK. Simultaneously, that'll all kind of run into the Survivors Matter into this as well. So, in that sense, mate, what would be the best way, if anyone was watching now, if they were interested in kind of joining the group or just checking it out, what's the best way for them to do it?
Just go on Facebook and type in Survivors Matter in Facebook, and it'll come up with our Survivors Matter page, and just private message through there.
Right. Last question.
Yeah.
For me, it was a really positive event. For you, how did you feel it all went?
I thought it went well, Phil, to be quite honest with you. I was really pleased with the people around the table in terms of the professionals who took time to come down.
Yeah.
So
you had lawyers there as well, didn't you?
Yeah. So one of the most important things for me was having those people who we can signpost to, so we can only deal with the issues on a peer-to-peer level. If people need a therapeutic intervention like counselling and stuff, mental health treatment, drug treatment, alcohol treatment, we've got someone there. Or legal advice, we've got someone there trusted who we can signpost onto.
Like I say, mate, very comprehensive, very professional, and I'm impressed. I'm always impressed with how you guys operate, but I can see that you really try to go about it in a really professional, constructive.
People's lives at stake.
Yes, but you know what, mate? You're not playing because you're victims yourself, you're survivors yourself. So, in a sense, that's the best position for you guys to be in, because every manoeuvre you are thinking of, I guess you're going to put yourself in that light, as if to say, would this be the right move for me if I was moving forward with this? So, you know, there's nothing fake or contrived about it. All I've got to say, mate, thank you for the time for the interview.
Thanks, mate. Nice
mate,
one.
You're an inspiration.
Thank you very much, Phil.
Nice one, mate. This is Red Pill Phil. Like and subscribe. I love you all, even the pissing haters.